welcome back to another edition of Run to the A. I always say that, but welcome back. We're excited about this one. This is our first time to have a former Arkansas player made
Former
it to the
Pro
NFL.
Hog.
Yeah, made it to the NFL. Now as a coach. We'll get into all that, but welcome, Chris Gragg. I guess we're going to start at the beginning. You're from Pine Bluff, right?
Well, really, you can say just Southeast Arkansas, actually. I lived all over there. I've lived in Pine Bluff. I actually spent most of my time down there in Warren or Dumas.
We were going to ask that because you went to Warren High School, and we were wondering how you ended up from Pine Bluff to Warren.
Yeah.
So.
Once my dad and my mom got married, and my dad was a coach at the beginning, for like the first few years, and then he got into administration. So he was a principal. And so if you know anything about administration, jobs come open, and he was always up. He eventually became a superintendent. He's a superintendent now, but when I was growing up, he was a principal. So I started kindergarten in Warren. I lived in Warren from kindergarten to about fourth grade. I moved to Pine Bluff after that for a year. Then I moved to Newport. Actually, that's where I was born, Newport, Arkansas, up in Northeast Arkansas. That's where my mom and my grandmother are from. And I lived up there for a little bit. Then I lived in Dumas from junior high through 10th grade. And then I moved back to Warren.
Holy cow.
All the moving.
Yeah, I moved around a lot.
And your dad was the head coach at Warren at one point?
No, he was he may have been head coach of baseball and tennis, but he was coach on the football team. He coached on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay. He was head coach of tennis?
Yeah, he may have been. He was pretty good at tennis back in the day. Won a state championship too.
Oh,
nice.
There you go. Did you ever play tennis? Or was it just football for you?
Nah, he hadn't played since then either, but no, I did not.
Was football your only sport growing up?
No, I played every sport, whatever season it was. That was kind of how I grew up.
Yeah.
Baseball season, I played baseball. If it was basketball season, I played basketball. When I was old enough to do track, I was in track. I did it all.
You did it all. When did you know that football was going to be your main sport?
Probably when I moved back to Warren my junior year. I was kind of hitting a growth spurt at that time, and body was kind of developing. And then actually when I moved back, I didn't really know if I was going to get to play receiver. I actually started off playing on the defensive side of the ball because, of course, Warren was loaded already. But some guys was missing time, and I got some time at receiver at 7-on-7 during that first summer. And that's when I kind of got my name out there. A lot of the coaches and stuff were coming to look at Greg and Jay, and then I end up performing pretty well. So that's really kind of how I got on the map.
Yeah, so you were there with those guys, right?
Right. Yeah, we are same age, same class. Me and Jerry has probably been knowing each other a little bit before kindergarten. Our families are kind of close. So we've been knowing each other forever. And Greg, I think, may have moved to Warren maybe like first or second grade. So we all been together since then, even though I moved a while, but we all been in contact. It's not too, it's like living in Northwest Arkansas, kind of. All those down there, they kind of close knit.
So was it a package? Did y'all know y'all wanted to go to Arkansas growing up in Arkansas, that being the only team in Arkansas? Did y'all all know that y'all wanted to go there?
Not really. No.
Really?
Actually, growing up, Jarius's family was kind of an Arkansas fan. My family was not really an Arkansas like football fan family. They were kind of middle of the road pack. Like I say, my dad was a coach, so he didn't really like fan out and he didn't grow up like going to actually, like you say, where we from, we only went to UAPB games. So that's where my school. So yeah, I grew up going to those college games before I started getting recruited. So that was the only college games that I really had went to.
And then when did y'all know y'all committed to Bobby Petrino, right?
Yeah, we did. Well, no, actually, we committed to Houston Nut. We did.
Houston Nut was that, okay.
Me. Yeah, I think all three of us committed to Houston Nut before all of that stuff happened.
And then Bobby came. How was that? How was the culture change between those two? That had to been wild.
I mean, we really didn't know. We just knew that Arkansas seemed to be on a good trajectory with Darren McFadden and what all he had did. And we guys, once you get to that level and you start getting recruited, you start somewhat thinking about the NFL. But we just really wanted to play in the SEC. We just thought that was the best thing in the world to do. So we were going to try to go to any SEC school that would offer us. But when it all came down to Arkansas, Coach Nutt and his staff, they just kind of loved on us. And like I said, I got my scholarship that's my senior, going into my senior summer at a camp. Him and Coach David Lee and Tim Horton, they all, love what I was doing at the camp and like what they saw on film. And that's how that happened. But when Coach Petrino got the job, of course, we knew that Houston Nutt ran the ball a lot. Yeah. But we knew, we were thinking already, like, we're coming in here. What I'm saying? Stuff gonna change if they get us on the field together. We already had that mindset of course, trying to get Joe, and we knew how Dennis Johnson was and D. Anthony Curtis and all of us guys that were from down in the south part of the state. Like, we kind of knew about each other, playing against each other all growing up.
So I was actually in school during those days, so that was very fun as a student watching though. The Joe touchdown on Tennessee punt return. I was at the game, loudest I've ever heard the stadium.
Yeah, that was insane. Joe was one of my really good friends. That punt return, it was I was on the sideline saying no. Yeah,
everybody was. Yep.
Yeah, that was one of those plays. It was one of those plays.
Yeah, and you were one of the first tight ends. You came in after DJ Williams. It was DJ Williams, you, and then a little break, and then Hunter Henry, Jeremy Sprinkle, CJ O'Grady. Right. Tight ends were huge and a huge factor in our game during that time. And you
you started the tight end you
to do the tight end you thing.
Yeah, me and DJ kind of took that over once we started playing together. Once I converted and came back from that first injury, I already kind of saw in practice we were having a lot of success. And then I did get hurt my true sophomore year. Right. And once we started playing together in 2010, the year we went to the Sugar Bowl, it was kind of like a real tandem when me and him, we could put some pressure on some defenses. Then the other guys we had outside, it put a lot of stress on defenses.
Yeah, and
when did you know that tight end was going to be your main position?
I was about to say, you came into Arkansas as a receiver, right? Not as a tight end.
Right. Of course, down in Warren, we really don't have a tight end in that offense where we didn't back then. He kind of does now, but we didn't back then. So, but I was always the big blocking, physical. Blocking wasn't a thing for me. I kind of like blocking. And then I always had the frame where, like I said, once I didn't really start developing until late 10th, 11th grade. So people started looking at my frame. And even when Bobby Petrino came for his in-home visit, he started, telling me that, depending on how you develop in the weight room, you could become like a hybrid H-back tight end type of player. And he told me a guy to look up, a guy that he played with, that he coached at Louisville, who kind of did the same thing. And that was back when he was coaching at Louisville, and they were pretty good. I can't actually remember the name right now, but he was a pretty good H-back for him back then in Louisville. So that kind of always stuck in the back of my head.
So that reminds me of Trey Knox. That's what he's trying kind of doing. Came in as receiver, building up.
Yeah. That's kind of the same thing that's going on. It's been successful if you can, put on the weight and do the blocking part. It's a lot different than playing receiver for sure, but it was a good transition for me.
Mm-hmm. So what was it like playing under Petrino? And did you see him this past year whenever he came back to Fayetteville for the Missouri State game?
I didn't get to see him. Actually, one of my college roommates who played safety for the U of A, Tremaine Thomas.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good safety, probably one of the top. I say he's top 10 safety for sure. But he's on this coaching staff. He coaches safeties for Missouri State. So I got a chance to go by and talk to him of course, I'm coaching now too, so I'm kind of busy on Friday night. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
I,
ask about that.
I had to get a chance to see him, though. I didn't get a chance to speak with Bobby, though.
How is coaching going for you?
It's going pretty good. It's fun. I like
Yeah.
working with kids. It's
Yeah.
been challenging. A lot different coaching high school. Actually, I started in college when I first retired from the NFL. I coached at the University of Memphis. I was
Memphis,
a
yeah.
QC. Yeah, I was a QC there for a year. That was during the pandemic, and that gave me my first little bite, a little bug of coaching, and I liked it.
Is that what you want to do?
At the moment, right now, I
Maybe.
think
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at it. I'm not just gonna say that's all I want to do, but
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Did you know that you wanted to get into coaching after football, or did that just kind of come?
No, I kind of knew that I wanted to always try it. I thought that I would be pretty good at it, and once I started it, I kind of liked it. I
Yeah.
really like coaching. It's not anything bad. It's just a lot of work. It's more work than being a player, or more preparation, and
I
you
bet.
have to more people than just yourself. So, it teaches you a lot.
I bet.
Yeah, so your senior year, you got injured kind of before halfway through, right?
Yeah, I only played 4 games my last year here at
Yeah.
Arkansas.
So what is it like going through something like that? You know, you just have to watch the team the rest of the way through, and you know you're a senior. How do you prepare for life after that?
Yeah, that was pretty tough.
Was that John L. Smith?
That was John L. Smith's year. We were projected, after that season we had winning the Cotton Bowl, we were projected to do a lot. And we had that spring that happened with Coach Petrino, and then the John L. Smith season started, and it was just a lot of things going on. We had a few injuries that happened in that camp. Then I end up going out the third game. I got hurt initially against Rutgers. And if you remember, that's the game Kobe broke the 300-yard. Yeah, we were going to have a field day on them. That's all I remember from that season. We ended up losing. We ended up losing the game. And
Yeah,
that was,
I remember that.
we had lost to ULM already. We had just played Bama and lost. And after that, I got hurt. I was kind of really sort of focused on the draft at that
The
point.
next step.
I really was, but I was so dedicated, and I really wanted to play my guys. I ended up coming back and played a quarter, if you remember the Ole Miss game in Little Rock, and I ended up scoring a touchdown and everything. But right before
remember that perfectly, yeah.
I kind of got hit the same way and kind of tweaked my MCL. That's what injury that was. I had an MCL and a bone. Yeah. And I kind of tweaked it again, and it really wasn't I really couldn't do much more.
So you went from Houston Nutt to Bobby Petrino to John L. Smith. Was John L. Smith just a joke playing for, to be blunt, I guess? Was it as bad as it looked on TV?
I mean, I really don't think it sure wasn't the same leadership as when Bobby Petrino. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a joke. We as players wanted John L. Smith because we knew that was a safe name, somebody that had been a head coach. He wasn't gonna really change the defense or change the offense. He wasn't gonna bring new coaches in right away. That was our main. So that was our thinking. We wanted to keep everything.
That makes sense.
We were thinking just keep everything the same, and you know what I'm saying? The position coaches, the coordinators can just take care of their side of the ball, and really, hopefully, nothing much changes.
Yeah, let's grind this out together, what we got with who we got.
Right.
So
that
makes sense.
We weren't thinking that John L. Smith was going to beat Bobby Petrino or anything. Right. We just want him to stand in there and, hopefully, he just Petrino worked for him. So he was under and worked for Petrino for a while. So
familiar face already.
Same kind of mannerisms and going through the day. He knew the type of schedule we were under, all of that. So that's what we were thinking of as players. And so the way it planned out, it just didn't work out the way we wanted.
I got you.
So looking back, do you have like a number one favorite memory at Arkansas?
That's a good question.
Man, number one favorite.
There were a lot of good times then.
Yeah, it was really it was a lot of good times. of course, winning all the bowl games. Even winning the Liberty Bowl, the one I was hurt at, that was a good experience. The way we won it at overtime, it was freezing cold. My boy Jay Wright, he won offensive MVP. And then Tremaine Thomas actually won defensive MVP, 2 young guys of the bowl game. So that kind of like
That's cool.
kind of motivated me even more. Like we could really be good. That kind of motivated the team. That class that I came in with, we kind of saw that right then. That was gonna be some of my time. I know it was bad at the time, but some of the time that I was hurt, they let me grow. They let me become a better tight end. They helped me study and watch DJ really close. They let me develop weight room, gain weight. And I guess it just helped me time out everything right. Of course, all my big games, big catches that I had. My first catch ever, my freshman year against ULM, Casey Dick throwing me the Cowboy Get It for the first time. Same one that Bobby P used on us at Missouri State this year. That's one of his signature.
You're bringing back memories.
Casey Dick, I haven't heard that name in a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite touchdown of yours?
Oh, favorite touchdown. I like my Georgia touchdown for sure. That's one of the second Cowboy Get It pass that I caught against Georgia.
When Get It pass.
That was I think one of our first and second touchdowns that game. And then my boy Greg Childs ended it down the sideline in the fourth quarter. We ended up winning at Georgia. Yeah, that was our last time beating Georgia.
Man, I forgot about that. You're bringing back memories now.
I know. I remember it in the news. I remember that catch. It was like the headline of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. And it said child's play.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
Sure did. Yeah.
So then after all that, you go into the draft. What is like the draft process like? And then like the unknown that comes with being in the NFL. You don't know if you're staying. You don't know if you're going.
Yeah, it's kind of really crazy, but the junior year that I had was pretty good. I didn't finish it the way I wanted to. I had a good game, Mississippi State. I had a decent game against LSU when we were number 3. They were number 1. We were playing down there, and we ended up losing. But what people don't know, I actually tore my meniscus the Tennessee game, the game that Joe had that crazy punt return. I tore my meniscus. And so I played the rest of the season, you know what I'm saying, just rehabbing. They would, lighten my load a little bit at practice the rest of the season.
Right.
And I practiced through the bowl, and I actually had some wild flare-up the week of the Cotton Bowl. And I didn't really play as good in the Cotton Bowl as I wanted to. And because I wanted to leave with all my guys, the class that I came in with, of course, I redshirted because of injury, but I knew Joe, Greg, Jay, all of those guys were going to the draft. So that was my plan to try to – I had a good season, but I was injured. I didn't really want to risk it that year. So once I came back and was playing, I was playing lights out before those 4 games I played in. And I got injured. I was just focused on, I got an agent as soon as that season was over. And you just go in there and train. I was just trying to get as healthy as possible. I got invited to all the bowl games and, the Senior Bowl and all of that. But I didn't really perform not playing football for 2 months. And these guys, you know what I'm saying, coming right off of practice. I didn't want to look rusty out there.
Yeah.
So I just,
Did you do the whole combine thing?
Yeah, I did go to the combine and I killed it. I had the fastest 40 for the tight ends that year. I had the highest vertical.
I remember that. I knew that, yeah.
Had the longest broad jump for tight ends in 2013. Yeah, I had an unofficial 40 that they said was like 4.44. My first one was a little slow. I think I ran like 4.53. I was a little nervous, but yeah, my second one was a 4.44 unofficial. I think they got in the record books 4.5 flat. That's what they got. They didn't give me the true 4.4, but yeah, I did the combine, and once I did that, I kind of thought that, you know what I'm saying, my name would get back on the radar because, like I said, after my junior year, I was a top 5, top 10, you know what I'm saying, rated tight end on the boards for my position. They usually, you know what I'm saying, now that I've been through it, they usually draft about 13, maybe 15 tight ends in the draft out of the 200 and whatever, 50, 60 picks. It's only about 13 tight ends that may be drafted. So you know what I'm saying? You want to be in that top 10 before going into the season. So I was there. So I felt like I was gonna get drafted, but with the injuries and everything, uh actually I now looking back on it, I probably was in a tight end class with 2 Hall of Famers. I met and became kind of cool with Travis Kelce,
Mm-hmm.
Ertz, Tyler Eifert. Those were the top 3 tight ends. I kind of knew that they were the top guys.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were in the class with us. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
so that was my tight end class. That's what I was going up.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Tough
Yeah,
crowd.
I knew those three were kind of gonna get drafted, but everybody else I felt like I was better than. And I ended up playing probably a little longer than all of those other guys that got drafted before me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're with the Bills, were you like, you knew you were staying there for a while, or like, was there still unknown questions going on?
I mean, you get to that NFL and you're a 7th-round pick. Of course, that first year you kind of on the bubble.
Yeah.
The writers that tell you that you're on the bubble, but like I said, the way we work down here at Arkansas, Bobby Petrino kind of prepared us for the football aspect of it and how the business side of it was gonna go and how to prepare and how to go about it. So I just put my head down and worked and really didn't listen to anything and let my performance show. And like I said, and at 4 years at Buffalo, never getting cut, never been on practice squad. That's hard to say for a lot of 7th-rounders, but we used up staying in the league longest, I guess, because we got a chip on our shoulder, I guess.
I hear you. All right, let's get back to Arch. What do you see that Pittman is doing right, and where do you see this program going? I guess is the question. Like, what do you see in this program that we got right now?
Well, I would say that I think it's going in the right direction. Right now, we just lost 2. Well, we just lost 2 games back to back. Close one to Texas A&M, where mistakes. I think we beat ourselves more than Texas A&M. So I don't look at that being anything to do with the coaches. We just got to go out there and play our game. And this last one, of course, Bama, that was a tough task for us. I mean,
yeah, that's
we still gave them a good game. They let us back in the game, but you know what I'm saying. Again, it's hard when you can't turn the ball over against a good team like that and do things that it's going to be tough. Get a lot of 3 and outs. You put the defense out there a lot. They got enough weapons. Even with the backup quarterback, they got a lot enough weapons. Yeah.
Are you friends with Pittman at all? Do you ever talk to Pittman?
I've met him a few times. He actually coached my younger brother when he was on Bielema's staff and helped recruit him when he was here. So he has a little better relationship with my brother. But when I do still go around the program. The tight ends coach Dow. He coached in the NFL before, so I kind of knew about him a little bit before he got there, and I go around there and talk with the tight ends. Like I know Trey pretty good. The new kid Ty Washington, I know him. Of course, I know Hudson Henry. I've been for a while.
So, are you still close with your guys that you were playing with whenever you were here?
Oh yeah, we got an old Bobby Petrino era group message that we still communicate with.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So with Traylon being from Warren, have you talked to him here and there? Like, are you guys tight?
They're mostly on social media right now. I know he's kind of busy.
Yeah.
It's healthy from whatever happened in the game last week. But yeah, I talk to him when he's around here in Fayetteville. I might see him out. We might hang out. I know his family. Like when they came up here for games, his family stayed at my home. Some of his family that's my age that I grew up with, they used to come stay at my house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how deep the Warren to NFL pipeline went. Like we were doing research and I was blown away by it all.
And it's crazy, a small town like that. We got plenty of stories that's crazy, and it's just like you say, a town of 5,000-6,000 people, who now has had 4 people in the NFL. Like maybe at least 10 guys go Division I within the last 20 years. It's kind of amazing.
All right. Cindy, you got anything else?
That's it.
Cool. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on here.
No problem,
Yeah,
man.
thanks for talking to us.
All right.
Cool. Thank you, Chris.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
You too.
See ya.
Bye.